Lalo, THR here. What's going down, everybody? A day removed from the big night, the big fight where we saw history be made. Terrence Bud Crawford has defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez. I lost $100 on the fight. I placed a bet for Canelo to knock out Terrence Crawford. And I put all my eggs in that basket too, because I know I said I had a contingency plan where I was also going to put 50 on Crawford for a decision win. I did not. I put just a full 100 on Canelo to win the fight by knockout. And obviously, I lost $100. But before I get into all of that, before I eat crow, before I broadcast my shame and anguish, I want to preface this video. I have a couple of prefaces, but the first preface, I just want to say right now, not boxing related, not sports related. The assassination of Charlie Kirk that I witnessed on September 10th, that was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to just say it right now. And let me just say, I'm not a political guy. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. The last president I voted for was in 2008 for Barack Obama. That was the last president, the first and the last president I ever voted for. And I voted for him for a dumbass reason, because I wanted to see a black president. That's all. That's the only reason I voted for him. So I did, and I got it, and that was it. I never voted again ever since. Call me what you will. I just believe that this two-party system is flawed. It's just a flawed system that doesn't appease everybody, because to me the right and the left are both fucking crazy, honestly. So I can't support either or. So let me just say that I'm not a political person, okay? I may not have agreed with what Charlie Kirk talked about in his debates, his sociological point of views, his political point of views, his philosophical point of views. This is not a man that I would go have lunch with, okay? And talk to about anything. But he's a human being. And to see a human being get killed in cold blood like that in front of women, in front of possibly children. His wife was there in attendance. I mean, getting shot in the neck, and he just started leaking everywhere, and I saw multiple angles. It was all over Twitter. The videos weren't censored. I could not believe what I saw. And that, I meant to record one more Canelo Crawford video prior to the fight. But when I saw that stuff on Twitter, it took the wind out my sails. Like, I didn't even care about boxing anymore when I saw that. And obviously, there's been protests, there's been riots, there's been all this crazy shit going on in the United States right now. I mean, quite frankly, the whole world is fucked up right now. I don't know what's happening. We got supposedly a UFO heading towards us, a mothership the size of Manhattan, and it's turning colors and shit. So they're debating whether it's an asteroid or a UFO or this, that, and the... I don't know what is this world coming to. I really don't. And when I see that kind of stuff that happened to Charlie Kirk, it makes me want to start going to church, homie. It makes me want to start reading the Bible and going back to church. Because I don't know what this world is coming to. So it's just like in the Hulk Hogan video, I said, we have to respect the dead, man. And for people to be celebrating this man getting killed in cold blood by a variety of people like that is madness. Is madness. I saw that and then seeing the reaction that people have, celebrating this man getting killed. I feel like we're living in the wild, wild west. You know what I'm saying? Like, where back in the day where duels were legal, where people could just have shootouts like the OK Corral and shit. Like, it's like the Wild West, homie. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I just want to say that before I bullshit about boxing. What happened to that man, regardless whether you agree with the stuff he talked about. And yes, he called my people animals. He called Mexican illegal immigrants animals, this, that, and the other. But whether you agreed with him or not, that's a human being, and that's, we don't want to become a society like that, where we applaud people getting murdered in cold blood. So I just want to preface with that, because that really, after that, it made me kind of not even care about Canelo and Crawford. You know what I mean? I did, of course, end up getting hyped for the fight, last night and the day before, but that right there was crazy. So I just wanted to preface with that. Now, second preface, let's get to Canelo Crawford. Let's get to Canelo Crawford now. And the second preface is Crawford was the better man. And I'm not going to give you any excuses, because this is what I would have expected from the Crawford crowd had Canelo won the fight. I didn't want to hear no damn excuses. So I'm not going to give you any excuses. Crawford was the better man, without a shadow of a doubt. However, I want to say right now, the fight was a lot closer than the ring crew, Max Kellerman, Andre Ward, and that clown that was the unofficial scorer. They would have you to believe that Crawford just won every single round and mopped the floor with Canelo's face. And that's what boxing Twitter right now, that's the narrative being spun on boxing Twitter right now. I had this fight a draw. On my card. And apparently I come to find out that there was a fourth judge that night, Ring AI boxing judge. Of course, its scorecard was not official. It was not used at all, not unofficially or officially. And it also had the fight a draw, 114-114. Now, am I objecting the result? No, I'm not, because Crawford ran away with the fight. I liked Canelo's body work in the early rounds, hit them left hooks to the body, followed by the straight right upstairs. The problem is that, Eddie Reynoso had Canelo a very predictive game plan of just going to the body. So Canelo was in a situation where he was landing one good punch and Crawford would reply with 2 or 3. You know what I mean? And he was mainly, I really feel like if Crawford went to the body more, actually, Crawford, he could have done something more. He could have really damaged Canelo even more if he would have went to the body more. But Canelo was the one dedicating his shots to the body. You know what I mean? And it wasn't enough to beat Crawford, because Crawford would land these flashy combinations. I still like Canelo's work. I felt like he was walking Crawford down. He had Crawford on his back foot. But again, for every 1 or 2 that Canelo landed, Crawford would land a 3 or 4. And they were flashier combinations. They were much sneakier punches as well. He was stealing rounds. A lot of the time in the early rounds, I felt like it wasn't enough to win the round for Crawford. I felt like Canelo did enough. I'm old school. I feel like when you're challenging a champion, you have to take the titles. It's not like, just an exhibition between 2 fighters or an undercard fight. You know what I mean? You have to take the titles from the champion. So I felt like in the earlier portion of the fight, Canelo was doing more than enough to secure the rounds. But Crawford, little by little, started to run away with this fight, quite literally. But he didn't do as much running as I expected. He actually stayed in the pocket for a good portion of the fight. I'm telling you, man, Crawford is an ultra competitive guy. Like, he tried to beat Canelo at Canelo's own game. He would go in, land a flashy 3-4 punch combo, and then get back out, get the hell out of Dodge. And so he was really commanding the fight, especially when we got to the later portion of the fight. I mean, if this was a 15-rounder, then yeah, I think Crawford would have, he would have won the fight the way a lot of people are convinced he won the fight. Like, he would have mopped the floor with Canelo if it was a 15-rounder, because he started to run away with this fight towards the end. That's why I had it a draw. I had Canelo getting a lot of the early rounds, and then Crawford he started to run away with it. So, congratulations to Crawford, man. He completely blew away the size narrative. And I'm starting to believe Bomac when he said that Crawford should have, in fact, been fighting at this weight class for years. And he was actually draining down to fight at welterweight. I mean, I guess you could call him a weight bully, or you can celebrate his greatness and trying to clear out lower divisions, and then ultimately fight at his natural division where he should be fighting at. Because he did not look that much smaller than Canelo in the ring. And more so visually, he actually took Canelo's punches a lot better than I thought. And Canelo was landing punches. He was landing good body punches. He was landing straight rights up top, and it didn't phase Crawford. I gotta say, maybe by the 4th or 5th round, it started to set in my head, like, you know what? This is bad news for Canelo, bro. Because Crawford is not appearing to be phased by Canelo's punches. He was eating them like Skittles, man. Like, it was nothing. So that was bad news for Canelo, you know, right there. I realized, and Crawford was just the better man that night. He was the better man. You see, even their faces, you know, Canelo was all marked up. Crawford had a clean face. I mean, of course, Canelo's white as fuck. He's got that tortilla skin tone. So he's gonna, obviously, he's gonna show more wear and tear. But still, I mean, I don't remember Canelo looking that marked up against Bivol. But, I mean, that fight was a while ago. I'd have to go back and watch it. Yeah, man, what Crawford did, he accomplished something very special. And we all got to witness it. I really hope that this TKO boxing league is... I hope it's going to have integrity. I don't know what's going on. Now I'm hearing that Dana White is actually going to start a contender-like series for boxing and build fighters through there. And then when they become, you know, superstars or whatever, he's gonna send them to Turkey. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. I was under the impression that Dana White and Turkey were starting a boxing league, TKO boxing, but now the plan seems completely unclear to me. You know, when they had that final press conference, it really confused me. I wanted to do an audio about that, but the Charlie Kirk stuff, and I was busy, and it was just a lot of things. But yeah, man, all in all, long night of boxing. The undercard was, Martinez and Mbili. These guys stole the show. I mean, they put on such an entertaining fight. Rock'em sock'em robots. You know, it was just incredible. And you had Caleb Walsh defeat Fernando Vargas Jr., another result that I'm a little disappointed in. But it was a fair result. Caleb Walsh won the fight. But the undercard fights prior to that, the prelims, this was a poorly booked match card, to be honest. Because there was a couple of fights on the prelims that I feel should have been on the main card. And some of the fights on the main card should have been on the prelims. Specifically, I want to say Brandon Adams and his fight with Bohachuk should have been on the main card. I want to see Brandon Adams fight again. That dude reminds me of a smaller Marvin Hagler. Like, just a straight up brawler. He's a certified scrapper, man. I want to see that guy fight again. But all in all, it was an entertaining night of boxing. Canelo's future now is very questionable. You know, people have been calling for Canelo to retire for like a couple of years now, saying that he doesn't have it in him anymore. And I've always defended Canelo. I've always said, no, he's clearly still the cash cow of boxing. Why should he retire? But now we're at the point where I think it's time, man. You know, Canelo does have 3 more fights with Turki Al-Sheikh. I don't know what the hell, who they're going to have him fight now. I mean, there's talks of maybe a rematch with him and Crawford. I think that's a bad idea. You know, there's already people saying that, you know, Canelo's legacy is destroyed because he got beat by a small man moving up 2 weight divisions, blah, 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 which is a complete fallacy. You see these 2 guys in the ring, they did not look like there was a crazy size difference at all. Like I said, I'm starting to believe Bomac, that Crawford really was supposed to be fighting at this division in the first place. But nonetheless, you know, Canelo's legacy is cemented. All the haters could kiss my ass. Canelo's legacy is cemented, man. 2 wins over Gennady Golovkin. He's got a win over Shane Mosley. He's got a win over Miguel Cotto. He moved up in weight at 175 to dethrone Kovalev. I mean, his legacy is more than cemented. But he does, in fact, have a 3-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh. It's actually a 4-fight deal, but the fight with Crawford already being one of those fights. So his next 3 fights, I mean, I suppose they could have him fight Shiraz You know, Shiraz is a big Muslim fighter that Turkey has a boner for. So maybe in his mind, he'll feed Canelo to him. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. If these rematch talks start happening on a serious level, I don't think the people would want to see a rematch. I really don't know. I just think that Canelo has issues with certain styles in boxing. And I don't know. It was a close fight, man. It was a close fight. I don't know. I'm on the fence about a Canelo Crawford rematch for now. My opinion may change, but I'm on the fence for now. But it remains to be seen what happens with Canelo's future. Definitely a legend in the sport, and Crawford has become a legend. I mean, he already was, but even more so after this historic victory. So that's gonna do it. I want to pump out just a quick video and give you my thoughts following the fight. I'm not gonna hide away in shame like a lot of Canelo stands are doing, running away. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Well, I'm still in the kitchen and I'm enjoying the heat because that's what boxing is all about. So thank you very much for listening. Adios.